Namibia has got 86 community conservancies and 43 community forests. That covers a total of about 180,000 square kilometers, which is over 50% of the communal land in the country and over 20% of the total land in the country. There's a number of about 230,000 residents in these areas that are benefiting directly from the community-based natural resource management program. In 2019 alone, the CBNRM sector generated roughly 156 million Namibian dollars into the pockets of these people. Between 1990 to 2019, CBNRM contributed about 9.7 billion to Namibia's net income. The COVID pandemic puts a very significant threat on CBNRM, especially as a result of the lack of tourism and the lack of free movement. The current scenario is such that a program that has been in existence for over 30 years can easily be disseminated like that. Everything, all the benefits that we have managed to do in these last 30 years can be eroded in a couple of years. That is the most significant threat from a socio-economic view of the COVID pandemic on Namibia's communal areas.
On the 5th of May 2020, the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism launched the Conservation Relief, Recovery and Resilient Facility. So the aim of the facility is to provide relief to all CBNRM community-based natural resources management entities within the sector to ensure continuation of jobs within the industry or within the sector, to ensure that human-wildlife conflict mitigation measures are still being undertaken, wildlife crime initiatives are still being undertaken, and generally also to ensure that minimum job losses are incurred during the process of the pandemic.
Conservancies have over 1,000 conservancy staff members that need to be employed so that they continue doing the conservancy activities. In addition to that, they have close to 700 community game guards who go out on foot to patrol these communal areas and ensure that there is no poaching, ensure the general, natural resource management that happens in that area, and respond to human-wildlife conflict. We have about 66 joint venture lodges with conservancies in Namibia. The staff of these joint venture lodges significantly comes from these conservancies and are grassroots people. Without income, the threat of being retrenched is high. So we have supported these private businesses with half grants, half repayable grants, so that they can ensure that there is continued employment and continued salaries for these people. It's also very important that all these activities continue being done in a very COVID-safe environment. We will be funding the acquisition or procurement of protective personal equipment, so that's masks and sanitizers, so that these game guards and these community members continue to engage in a very COVID-safe environment. It is very, very important to ensure that the ongoing activities with respect to mitigation, managing human-wildlife conflict in these conservancies are there, so that the value of that wildlife is still preserved and people will still tolerate and want to live with this wildlife. So in the absence of tourism, we are trying to identify other means and ways that are environmentally friendly or related to COVID that these particular communities can engage in and obtain income to substitute the lost income during this period.
My name is Lorna Dax. I'm the manageress of Twadinhwas Conservancy. The CRRF grant came at a very difficult moment where conservancies were facing the COVID-19 pandemic. In Namibia, most of the conservancies depend on conservation hunting and tourism, and since COVID-19 started, all the income sources to conservancies were cut. CRRF grant assisted conservancies to keep their operations and also monitor and do natural resource management. Conservancies, and especially Twadinhwas Conservancy, did not have any form of income since March 2020, and we only depended on this grant, and it has helped us to monitor wildlife in our conservancy, and this has helped us to fight poaching because we did not have any poaching activities for the year. and it has also helped us to keep all our staff members without retrenching anyone. The Conservancy office has kept its doors open and there are boots on the ground on a day-to-day basis.
The NGOs that have been doing excellent work in this environment, that have been previously supporting these conservancies during this time, also do not have funding. A small portion has been allocated to them so that they continue supporting these communities with respect to governance, with respect to business, livelihood, enterprises and planning, and with respect to natural resource management.
We now have to venture in the process of resilience. We're not out of the woods yet. The pandemic is still with us, so we have to build towards the future in terms of resilience, basically.